Hey! It's the noon train on time?
Supposed to be.
Feels like it's time.
Fair enough.
One, two, yo. No fake love, no fake love. 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 No. So don't be crying at my funeral, nigga. Give me my roses while I'm here. No fake love accepted, homie. If it's all real, make it clear. No, don't be crying at my funeral, nigga. After hating on me all year. No fake love accepted, brody. No, not over here. No fake love, no fake love. No fake real, recognize real. So many fakes and phonies amongst family members, lovers, and homies. They be right by your side for the ride when you're up. Soon as you slip, you end up lonely. Can't tell your friends from your enemies. So many frenemies with two-faced tendencies. Wanna see you doing good, but never better than them. They melt on you when you get more cheddar than them. No fake love, no fake love. So don't be crying at my funeral, nigga. Give me my roses while I'm here. No fake love accepted, homie. If it's all real, make it clear. No, don't be crying at my funeral, nigga. After hating on me all year. No fake love accepted, brody. No, not over here. No fake love, no fake love. No fake love, no fake love. Smile in my face and kick it with my ops. Cause deep in your heart you wanna see me in the box. And you know it's real niggas that'll rock off top. That bulletproof love don't stop. I represent the cream of the crop. They watch and they jock. Still don't wanna give me my props. So they scheme and they plot on my downfall. And even through all that, I still stand tall. No fake love. So don't be crying at my funeral, nigga. Give me my roses while I'm here. No fake love accepted, homie. If it's all real, make it clear. No, don't be crying at my funeral, nigga. After hating on me all year. No fake love accepted, brody. No, not over here. No fake love, no fake love. No fake love, no fake love.
God. Told you I got him. Man, it's love, it's all love. Yeah. You got that for me? It's love. Appreciate you.
BBN check first. What's up, party people? How's everybody doing? I'm hoping everybody's having a beautiful day. I moved my camera slightly, so hope everybody's having a beautiful day. We have a lot to talk about. All right, so for anyone that's new here, you might not know this. We cover court cases over here. We don't fake cover court cases. We go into the courtroom. We often speak with people who's at the facility. We get to see firsthand these trials that we cover. We get to see firsthand what's happening in the courtroom. And you have one more thing that's a little bit fortunate for y'all is I actually have studied a little bit of law, and I find law interesting. I actually love watching cases. I love going over. I love talking law. I love learning more about the law, things and such. So just so we could be clear, everybody is fortunate. You got a guy pulling up into the courthouse that not only knows a little bit about the law, but enjoys engaging in it. Before we go any further, I want to say shout out to Instagram. So Instagram now has this going on. We are live on Instagram. Shout out to that. So we will be going live on Instagram more often in the mornings and in the night. Whenever we're going live, we're going to also be on Instagram. We're going to be promoting what we're doing over there also real quick. I just want to get this out the way. Shout out to Big Malo, the MALO with NFL. No fake love. Now let's get to it. For everybody that knows, Jam Master Jay was taken from us too soon. He was actually 37. The situation happened in 2002. He was actually at his studio, and some gentlemen came in, and right now that's under deliberation on who these gentlemen were. That's what this trial is about right now. Some gentlemen came in and unalived him. Also, just so we could be clear, another individual was with him. That person was shot. That person is taking the stand. Well, they took the stand today. That's what we're going to be talking about. We're going to be talking about a lot of their testimony, just so we can be clear. In addition to that, we're going to be talking about some of the candidate, some of the things that I've seen in the courtroom. So you're not just going to get the experience of what somebody can tell you when they read some piece of paper. You're also going to get the expertise of an individual who is in real time watching the individuals and the things that's happening in court. And just so we could go, before we get any of this started, I just also want to add the thing that we talked about. Remember when we did the morning show, we did morning coffee this morning. We actually did it on the way to the courtroom. We were on the train and everything. Do you remember what we spoke about in that morning coffee? I actually spoke about an issue that I believe came up with the Washington's lawyers. And do you know what's one of the first pieces of business that they took care of in court today? The thing that we talked about at 8 o'clock in the morning. Remember, we went live. It was about 8 o'clock, 8:30. That thing that we was talking about 8 o'clock, 8:30 in the morning, that became a piece of business in court when court opened up at 10 o'clock. So just so we could be clear, not only am I a person who is in the courtroom, not only am I a person that enjoys the law, not only am I a person that has the ability to break the law down a little bit, you know what I'm saying? I'm not an actual lawyer, but also apparently I have been telling people exactly what was going to happen in the courtroom before it happened. And that's the second time in 2 days in this particular case. So let's get to what was going on today for everybody that don't know. Uriel Rincon, that is a gentleman who he knew, or basically he was Jam Master Jay's assistant, personal assistant for all intents and purposes. He did things like pick up Jam Master Jay's kids and stuff like that, drove them around. This is 2002 also, by the way. He picked up Jam Master Jay's kids and things like that, took them to places that they needed to go to. He was in the studio whenever Jam Master Jay was training him to become, I guess, an engineer or become a producer of music himself. He worked on a couple of projects. This was like, he was mentoring him. Jam Master Jay was mentoring this guy, just so we could be clear. Uriel Rincon, he also goes by the name Tony, because that's his middle name. So he also goes by the name Tony. He took the stand today. The biggest point of contention involving him, most of the testimony when the defense came up to try to defend, obviously, their clients, was, why didn't he say this sooner? Why did it take him so long to come out and point the finger at the individuals who allegedly he knew? Why did it take him so many years to come out? So that's what we're going to be discussing today. I'm going to start off telling you the first point of business that they started off in court today, just so we can be clear. And then also I am going to go back to previous days because we haven't had a Tonight Show to discuss this. So we're also going to be backtracking through to previous days just so we can be clear, so I can make sure that everybody's up to date on everything that's going on. Just obviously, right? So hold on. Let me start. Where's day 3? All right, so just so we can be clear, the first when I first got into the courtroom, I was a little bit late this morning. Apologies about that. I got up the wrong stop on the trains. Is over here. Anyway, the prosecution had said that. Oh, also, I missed opening statements because we also didn't know when the trial started. We was headed down there during opening statements. So I want to be clear about this because this is something that I probably should have mentioned before, but I didn't know that I found that out today. That besides the witness that took the stand today to say that that was the dude that did a thing, there's also more witnesses that are going to come up. I believe at least one more witness that was an eyewitness. And also there's going to be people that's going to come up allegedly. This is what the prosecution says. This is what the state's attorney said, that there are going to be people that's going to come up that these guys told they did the crime to. What up, Shakai? How you doing, my brother? Salute. What up, Body Cam? Salute. Shout out to everybody that pulled up into the chat. I definitely appreciate everybody that's here right now. If you have any questions, put it down there. No matter, independent of what side you want, I'm going to try to answer the best that I can. But you're going to need to give me a second because I need to run through some of this stuff. So apparently, these dudes were bragging. Allegedly, they were bragging. That's what the prosecution is saying. I don't know any of this to be true. I'm just telling you what's happening in the courtroom. I'm just telling you what's happening in the courtroom. And allegedly, they were bragging. They were taking full ownership. Some of the people that they bragged to are allegedly on the witness list. Let me get back to this. So today, basically what had happened was the prosecution said that they had a concern with a witness's unreliable testimony. The event happened in 2002, and what it is some people might not remember what happened. And in addition to some people might not remembering what happened, you do know what goes on, right? Like two people will be talking about something, and then because now they talked about it, now they're not going off of their memory. They're going off of the contrived event. Now they messed up each other's memory of the situation. And now, oh yeah, do you remember this thing? Oh yeah, I think I do. You understand what I'm saying, right? This is why, do you know, you ever been in elementary school? They did this in my elementary school. I don't know if they did it in anybody else's, but they'll have all the kids in a long ass line, and then the first kid will say something, and they gotta whisper it all the way down the line, and then when it gets to the end, then they'll be like, "What did you hear?" And then they'll say some random thing, and then like all of the people on the beginning of the line is like, "Where the hell did they get that from?" But basically, the more ears that words go through, the more diluted the words become. So the prosecution was basically saying that, you know, people might not remember everything verbatim. And I think one of the reasons why this became a point of contention to the judge particularly is because if the defense's whole entire argument is you said something different now than you said before, that brings this into the loop. You know, is this really what happened, or is this what some people are saying is happening because they got together and decided a thing? In any regard, that was a point of contention early. And the reason why this was also a point of contention might have been created when talking to other witnesses is the reason why this is a point of contention is because Anyway, sorry about that. I have no idea what happened. It's like my whole internet connection just cut off for a second. My whole computer lagged. That might be because I had us hooked into Instagram also. I'm not sure if the Instagram is still up because I closed one of the windows. Just give me 1 second. Oh, this is dope. I thought I had to leave the window open. I don't have to leave the window open. So I could literally just, as soon as I connect the Instagram, I could just close the fucking window. Oh, this is dope. Shout out to that shit. I thought because it was burning too much of the computer. Now I know I could close that shit. Anyway, let's go. I was concerned about that this whole time. I can't really, I'm gonna have to keep this open so I can see what the hell y'all talking about over there. But yeah, I was really concerned about that. Now that I see how this works, so this is my first time streaming, also using StreamYard for Instagram. So I need for everybody to just bear with me. All right, so we're gonna get to the meat and potatoes. So this is before any of the witnesses came out. The witness that we're gonna talk about is Uriel Rincon. That's what we're gonna be talking about, Uriel Rincon, just so we can be clear. I'm gonna put up a poll in a moment for YouTube. So basically what happened was when the detective took the stand, he was basically saying that he didn't remember anything. So they asked him about how the paperwork was created. And basically he said that he never actually wrote the affidavit. So the prosecution asked him, well, if you didn't write the affidavit, then who did? He said he didn't know. So basically they were saying, the defense, pardon me, was asking him who wrote it then. So basically what happened was they did a Zoom meeting. And over the Zoom meeting is when they was taking his notes. So since it was over a Zoom meeting, he has no idea who wrote it. And guess what? I don't believe they have an obligation to tell. So nobody knows who wrote this report that helped them get a, how do you call it? Nobody knows who wrote the report that helped them get the indictment in the first place. I'm assuming. But, now also remember there's a ton of witnesses allegedly. So nobody knows who wrote the indictment. So now how could we go off of the words of what this detective is saying? If one, he's saying he don't remember nothing, but also this indictment that this paperwork that we use to indict these guys with, his words are all over it. And he's saying that he don't even remember those words. So anyway, I believe that was because they were supposed to be, when this came up, there was supposed to be so many objections and we got to throw this out. And how did this even get in the first place? So they tried to argue against it after the fact yesterday, but it was already after the fact. This was something they were supposed to take care of in pre-trial. The judge told them right there, like, y'all was supposed to take care of this in the pre-trial. It's in the trial now. Like y'all didn't go through the proper channels to get it excluded. So yeah, that was the Washington team, by the way. That was the Washington team, by the way, just so we could be clear, not Jordan's team. Washington is allegedly the individual that was there when the situation happened. Jordan is allegedly the individual that fired the shot that actually killed the person, just so we could be clear. All right. So it goes on to say the arguments also, just so we could be, if you want to look up, there's a Flores case right here. I have a number of 801 D1C. So there's also a Flores case, just so we could be clear. Right now, I have a 801 D1C. I believe that's the number for the report or whatever the case is, or the number for the trial, the case number or some shit. In any regard, they did say that they was not objecting to Rincon making an inconsistent statement, because that's another point that was of contention. Remember, all of this started because this other dude don't know nothing, but he know everything. The detective don't know nothing, but he knows everything. I don't know how. I'm not trying to be a dick, right? All of these guys are professionals. I'm assuming everybody is doing the best job that they could do. I'm assuming the people who are the defense attorneys for the individuals that have been accused of killing Jam Master Jay, just so we can be clear, this is what this trial is about. These are the guys that are accused of killing Jam Master Jay. I'm assuming that their attorneys are competent. even with what happened in court the last few days. This is not me throwing shade at them. This is just me saying I don't understand how they missed this. That's all I'm saying. So when I'm going to be cracking jokes on them about this, and I'm going to be kind of dragging them about this, and 9 times out of 10, it's on one person probably is the one that fucked up. Okay? Not the whole team. It was probably one person that fucked up. That part of the paperwork was probably their responsibility. That's what you got to understand. When you're in court and something goes weird or buggy, it's not the whole team. And even the mistake at times, it's shit. You know what I'm saying? It's not incompetence. That's what I'm trying to say. Because I'm going to be saying a whole bunch of things, and I don't want y'all to think that I think that these guys are anything but the top tier. Okay? These guys, whatever. Anyway. We did a previous trial, and I was dogging an attorney, and it was more out of jokes, and I hurt the person's feelings. And so I want to be a little bit more aware. All right? We're going to be a little bit more aware. We're going to try better to use kind words. That's all. Anyway, what they did say was because remember, listen and pay attention. They allegedly have some witnesses that are going to come and say that they heard the defendants say that they did the killing, right? That they did the deleting, allegedly. What Washington's team was objecting to was another person coming and saying Rincon told them this or Rincon told them that, because that's hearsay, so that wouldn't be allowed anyway, just so we could be clear. The judge then said that, because there was contention about this, that the witnesses can always speak, that the witness can give an identification. So basically, somebody Rincon told did the event can't say it was them, but he can. He's a witness. I don't even know how this was an argument. This is what I'm trying to tell you. The other day went so crazy. The other day was so mixed up. They fucked up so bad the other day that this morning they were going over shit that's law 101. That's how bad the fuck up was yesterday. And I don't care what nobody says. I was there. Mama, I'm in the courtroom. I told y'all they messed up before they acknowledged they messed up in court and tried to fix it. Twice. Just so we could be clear. And the lives are up. And you could tell that I told y'all before because other people are reporting on it also. And their reporting on it is going to be after what I said. With that being said, Washington teams also had a problem with. Wait, hold on. So they actually was now dealing with the witness. Okay, so remember what I just told y'all. Remember what I just told y'all. What I just told y'all? Just told y'all. Remember what I just told y'all? So this is what was literally in court this morning. Washington's team came out and they wanted to argue because they didn't like the witness Lockwood was in. Lockheed is the dragon, is Kitty Pie's dragon. That Lockwood was able to say that the witness was scared. And the judge said they can't talk about witness intimidation. So they didn't like, just so we could be clear, that dude was able to say, yo, the witness was scared, because they're not allowed to talk about witness intimidation. No, unless something actually actionable happened. You can't just say, they can't talk about it. They could talk about the event, But the judge said that they can't just talk about it haphazardly. You can't just keep saying, you know, there has to be something to it. You understand what I'm saying? If it makes any sense. So I got notes here. Object. Let me turn this light. So they did object. Oh, basically, they're objecting now, but they didn't object when it happened. And that's basically what the judge was saying. You're objecting now. Anyway, same thing I'm saying. In any regard, they didn't object. And once again, I wrote this down twice. They didn't object when Lockwood did this on the previous day. And when it happened, I told y'all they fucked up. The live is still up, fam. The live was yesterday. This happened today. In any regard, the state agreed that the witness could talk about themselves being intimidated because that's law. Remember, the defense doesn't want the prosecution to make it look like the people that's on trial or any of their associates are trying to prevent individuals from coming forward that might have information, because that's basically a big part of why the prosecution is saying some of these people didn't come forward previously. So the defense team doesn't want them to be able to say that. So the defense team doesn't want people to be able to say that. You understand? That's a big issue in any regard. Washington lawyers were the ones that brought it up. Also, the thing that they should have objected to, and this is why I said Washington's lawyers was the ones that screwed up. I know who it is too, but I'm not going to call it out. But this is why I said Washington lawyers was the one that screwed up. The thing that he said that they should have objected to, Washington's lawyers the one that asked the question and went down that line of questioning. That's why they didn't object. Imagine your lawyer talking to the witness. And while talking to the witness, your lawyer, get that witness to say all of the things that if the other side was questioning that person, they would have been objecting to. Fam, I don't know what to tell you. I told y'all. We ain't even get all of this happened before the witness came out, by the way. All of that happened before the witness came out. All right, that's before the witness came out, and this was a quick day. Remember, I missed the beginning part of whatever they was arguing about. All of this happened before the witness came out. Anyway, so now the witness comes out. Let me explain to you who this witness is. When Jam Master Jay was deleted when he was, the fateful night when he was taken away from his friends and family and loved ones and fans. He was with his mentor, let me show y'all a diagram real quick. He was with his, who he was mentoring, right? He was also with Lydia Hyde, and there was a couple of other people in there. So I'm going to show you a diagram real quick. I don't know if how well y'all can see that. So you see this diagram right here? So let me explain to you what this is. So this is the front door right here, right? This is the front door. This is where you come in, right? So you see right here, that's where Lydia was sitting. There's a TV that was here. The two guys, they sit here right here, and they're playing a video game. Over here, am I looking at that? Okay, yeah, excellent. So over here, right here, is where there's 2 rooms here. Let me draw a line. It's the recording studio and the control booth. Right? So there's two rooms here, right? There's a door right here, right? Hold on. So there's 2 rooms here. You come in through the front door right here, right? And there's a room right here. That's where the booth is at, where they record the music. That's the booth at where they record the music, right? And this is the control room. Inside of the control room, there was 3 people allegedly. I keep hearing 3, and then I hear 2, but right here I have 2 marked down. One was just some random chick that's just from the hood, I guess, that whatever the fuck. And the other one was Randy. There's 2 R-named guys. One's Rodney, but I believe they were saying that was actually Randy. Randy, Mike B, Lydia, J Master J, and Rincon. They were present. So in this room right here, where you see RF, it actually had a female. It had Randy. I think they're saying Randy, not Rodney, but you know, I could get the name mixed up because I'm hearing people speak. And Mike B, they were in there. When the whole situation happened, they was in the control room the whole entire time. I think it's Randy though. After the shooting happened, Randy runs out of the control room. He grabs the gun that was laying there. I'm gonna tell you about that in 1 minute. And then he runs out of the facility, allegedly, to chase after the guys. That's when he ends up running to the police precinct. So let me just explain to you basically what Rincon said happened, because I want to show you the diagram first. So Rincon said this, right? I'm going to show the diagram right here. He says the guy walked through the front door, right? He said when the guy walked through the front door, he walks over to Jay. When he walk over to Jay, Jay stands up or whatever the case is, and he goes to give him that. When Jay goes to give him that, Rincon at that moment, his mother's calling him. So right when Jay's going to give him that, right, Rincon looks down to his phone because his mother's calling him. So he looks down to go like pick his phone up or some shit. When he looked down to go pick his phone up, that's when he hears Jay say something like, "Oh shit," and then he hear the gun go off. And then it went off again and he was hit. Then he says, dude, turn and jetted. Now, just so we could be clear, when all of this happened, allegedly, Washington, because this is all allegations. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Allegedly, Washington was at the door and he had his pistol out and he was telling Lydia to either stay down or some shit, or he was like giving commands or giving orders, you know, basically telling people to be easy because, you know, they wasn't there for them. After he hits Jay and dude gets hit like in the arm or the legs, in the leg or some shit like that, he then turns and bolts. Dude comes out of the control room, grab Jay's gun. Now, this is something that I found interesting. Listen and pay attention. Jay had only a couple of things in his pockets. One was a plane ticket. It was a plane ticket. Remember, this happened on Halloween, the 31st of October. One was for a plane ticket to Chicago and back. It was a digital plane ticket, and it was for the 28th of October, I believe they were saying. So apparently, if I'm getting these numbers correctly, he just came back from out of town, from Chicago, just so we could be clear. Now, the next thing that I found pretty interesting is Rincon says that, you know, he doesn't really see Jay with a weapon before. He don't really see Jay with guns. But this particular time, he saw him pull it out and put it on the armrest right here before he sat down to play video games. So just so we could be clear, that's the gun that they saying Randy picked up and ran out and chased the guys with. Now, that's a whole nother thing. I'm not going to go into whatever that is because they didn't really talk about that enough for me to be able to discuss it. So we're going to go on to the things that they discussed. So for everybody that don't know, the witness, Uriel Rincon, he was shot the night that thing happened with Jay. He did high school, college. He's not like the street guy. You understand what I'm saying? He's not. I'm not saying bad about street guys or bad about him, but he's not really a street guy. In 2002, he was 24 years old. He had known Jay-Z since he was about 17. He was in college when all of this happened. He had like multiple jobs. He's from Kew Gardens. That's in Queens, for everybody that don't know. He worked with Jam Master Jay on Jam Master Jay's JMJ label. Also, he worked at an Enterprise car rental and a Sleepy's. So, you know, he was doing things. He met Jay through mutual friends, and then Jay became a mentor to him after that. He said that he knew Jay for around 5 years. At that time, they was assistant. People don't know what approximately mean. I want to just say something. Approximately is not exactly. It means like a roundabout. So if you be like, yo, that's like approximately 15 miles from here. It might be 15 miles. It might be 20. It might be 18. It might be 13. Okay? So approximately is not exactly in any regard. So he knew Jay for about 5 years. Was an assistant for Jay, or he was an assistant for Jay for about 5 years. Also, there's a group called Rusty Waters. It was a group that Jay was working with that had Randy Allen. That's the dude that chased the guy. And it has Jay Skaggs. Is that his name? Jay Skaggs? I'm curious. Is that his? I think that's his name. Anyway, that guy's his nephew. That's Jam Master Jay's nephew. They were both in the group. Also, Jam Master Jay's studio was for pre-production, basically. So it's basically just for pre-production, not post-production. After that, they started showing him pictures of people just so we could be clear, so he could identify people so that when they're speaking about it later. What you have to understand is when you're in court and when you're going through trial or whatever the case is, there's a lot that you're going to say, right? And there's a lot of questions and a lot of things that's going to go on and a lot of whatever the hell. And basically all it is we're answering a lot of bullshit ass questions so they can't make bullshit ass objections. So will you be in court and you'll hear them ask questions that just don't make, like, this is not important. Get to the meaty part. But if they don't ask these questions, they can't ask other questions. Like, there has to be a pathway. You understand? You can't just have no pathway. There has to be a pathway. You understand? There has to be a pathway. So basically that's what that is. So what happens is these dudes go up there and they ask a ton of questions that there's really nothing for. You understand what I'm saying? Like, us listening to it, we don't really care about none of this. But if they don't ask these questions, what's going to happen is the prosecution is then, if they don't ask these questions, what's going to happen is the prosecution is then going to go and make a whole lot of objections to this, objections to that, objections to this, objections to that, objections everywhere. You understand? Make sense? In any regard. I'm going to go to a quick commercial break. We're going to be right back.
Yeah. 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Yo. No fake love, no fake love. 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 No. So don't be crying at my funeral, nigga. Give me my roses while I'm here. No fake love accepted, homie. If it's all real, make it clear. No, don't be crying at my funeral, nigga. After hating on me all year. No fake love accepted, Brody. No, not over here. No fake love, no fake love. No fake love, no fake real. Recognize real, so many fakes and phonies amongst family members, lovers, and homies. They be right by your side for the ride when you're up. Soon as you slip, you end up lonely. Can't tell your friends from your enemies. So many frenemies with two-faced tendencies. Wanna see you doing good, but never better than them. They melt on you when you get more cheddar than them. No fake love, no fake love. So don't be crying at my funeral, nigga. Give me my roses while I'm here. No fake love accepted, homie. If it's all real, make it clear. No, don't be crying at my funeral, nigga. After hating on me all year. No fake love accepted, Brody. No, not over here. No fake love, no fake love. No fake love, no fake love. Smile in my face and kick it with my ops. Cause deep in your heart you wanna see me in the box. And you know it's real niggas that'll rock off top. That bulletproof love don't stop. I represent the cream of the crop. They watching, they jock. Still don't wanna give me my props. So they scheme and they plot on my downfall. And even through all that, I still stand tall. No fake love. So don't be crying at my funeral, nigga. Give me my roses while I'm here. No fake love accepted, homie. If it's all real, make it clear. No, don't be crying at my funeral, nigga. After hating on me all year. No fake love accepted, Brody. No, not over here. No fake love, no fake love. No fake love, no fake love.
I got him. Man, it's love. It's all love. Yeah. You got that for me? It's love. Appreciate you.
BBN Jack Frost. We only got a couple of people in here tonight, so I want to say something real quick. I'm going to say something that's BBN business. Remember that store that I told you that they kept having people go to and troll me at? You know that shit got closed down? Y'all know that store, that like the Wayne Reed or whatever the fuck it was, part of my language? I don't know if they're getting renovated or if they just don't own the building no more. But that place is closed. I liked a lot of those people in there, to be honest with you. The place that they went to, the people that hate me went to, and then got those people that treat me badly. Yeah, that place is closed. I don't know how to feel about that. This is a fact. Hold on. Everybody think I'm capping. Somebody gonna say I'm lying. Hold on. Let me show you this real quick. Dwayne Reed. Which one is it? Look, that shit ain't even on the map no more. Is it? That shit ain't even on the map no more. I can't even show y'all. Can't even show you it's close. It's not on the map no more. Look. I'm moving this shit so you can't see what my dot is. Look, there's no Dwayne Reed there no more, fam. I keep telling y'all. I'm upset those people lost their job though. Hope everything works out for them. I don't never want nobody to be all fucked up. Hope everything works out for them. Yeah, but you know that Dwayne Reed that those people used to have all of the homeless people go start trouble with me and stuff like that and shit like that. Yeah, that Dwayne Reed, it don't exist anymore. I'm not laughing out of happiness. I'm laughing out of like, what in the hell, fam? In due time, fam. In due time. That's why I just be patient and I never try to get revenge. In due time. Let's get back to this. All right, so there was a period where they were just bringing up different exhibits. Exhibit 522, Exhibit 528. I'll say what the exhibits are real quick that they was bringing up. Exhibit 526. I'll tell you what they were. All right, so Exhibit 522 was a picture of Jam Master J. A picture of 528 was a picture of Randy Allen. Exhibit 526 was Mike B. Exhibit 534 was somebody named Ink Pen. He was an individual who write raps. He wasn't really in the studio. I guess I'll give you the breakdown also. Randy Allen was Jay's best friend from childhood and his business partner. He was a co-owner of Jam Master of JMJ Studios or Records or whatever it was called. Mike B was a rapper who wrote for people. He was a friend of Jay and Randy's. He was consistently came to the studio, and others came more often. There's a dude named Inkpen. He would do graphics. He was like a computer graphics guy. I guess he made the media content or whatever the case is. Mom, this is 2002, man. People don't even know how to do that type of shit in 2002. So him doing that in 2002, he's probably writing code right now. He did professional art. He came to the studio very inconsistently. A lot of us that do this type of content, we are just, especially the parts of us, the ones of us that, it's hard for me to explain this, but a lot of us, we're just a different type of person. We're a different breed of person. You understand what I'm saying? So we don't really be meaning to be inconsistent with you, but we're artists. So a lot of what we do is dependent on how we feel. And I'm not trying to say I'm not saying we not on that old my truth, your truth bullshit. I'm just saying when you're an artist and when you feel good, you create good art. When you feel like being at a place, you're going to be able to do things well. When you don't want to be there, you're just not going to be able to do it well. That's just what it is. You understand what I'm saying? Left brain, right brain. So be a little bit more mindful when you're dealing with a creative person and you're trying to like nail them down to do this or to do that. You're fucking your own self up. If you look at almost all the most creative people that we know about, they all kind of enigmatic. Which one of them is we consider to be just normal, regular person? Not one, right? Name one exceptional person that we consider to be normal. If they were normal, they wouldn't be exceptional, right? Anyway, in any regard. Lydia Hyde, her picture was exhibit 525. Lydia Hyde is Randy's sister. She used to be Randy Allen. I mean, Lydia Allen, Randy Allen. She used to be Lydia Allen. That's Randy's sister. Right hand business, handled logistics. Had a brother named Teddy. Came around sparingly. Her brother named Teddy came around sparingly. It says had, so I don't know if he's still with us. In any regard, Exhibit 535 was a guy named Rodney. They call him Bo. He's Jay's nephew, his sister's son. Bo was part of the Rusty Waters. Let me look at something real quick. Was that guy in court? Because there's people in court, and I'm not even sure who they're with, to be honest with you. Spoke to a guy today, and here go Bo Skaggs. Spoke to a dude today, and he said he was Jam Master Jay's friend. You know, grew up with him or whatever the case was. You know, from back in the day. I don't know. And he was sitting on the side that I thought the defendants people were all sitting on. No, he didn't know no better. I just said anyway. So I say all that to say, I don't know who's with who. I don't know who's on what side. I see the attorneys that they're talking to, but I'm still a little confused in any regard. Oh, also today again, they had to tell one of the attorneys to get out of the back of the courtroom because they were sitting like in the back of the courtroom. So today they had to tell one of the attorneys to get out of the back of the courtroom, and that's always dope. They be sitting by me. This is the third time that we've been in a courtroom and an attorney was sitting by me and they wasn't supposed to because they was a big head time guy and they supposed to sit in the front row. So it's the third time that happened. So that's lit. What up, J Mac? You see that Stacy Gomez person in here trying to line me up? So, oh, my fault. I'm getting texts. I don't know why phone's going on. What the fuck is happening over here? It's confusing. So just so we could be clear, so they went over all of the people. And another reason why I think they did this is because I wouldn't be surprised if these are some of the people that's going to actually take the stand. Shout out to BW Salute. I wouldn't be surprised if these is actually some of the people that's going to take the stand. Just so we can be clear. Exhibit 702. Exhibit 702 was the diagram that I showed y'all earlier. So real quick, I'm going to show you this diagram real quick so y'all could get a root for the people that weren't in here. This is the front door. This line right here is the front door. This right here is the booth where they actually do the music at. This is the booth where they it's the control booth right here. This is the booth that they record, the recording booth. This is the control booth. This right here is like a little section where they got like couches and everything lined up through here. I'm not sure what's over there. Whatever. They didn't talk about it. But over here is where is the section where, and it's also not this large. I just drew the picture that way. Don't mind me. So right here is where they have all of their seating at, and this is the area where everything is at. Over here is like where the kitchen area is at. So the person came in. J Master J was sitting here. The gentleman that was with J Master J playing the game, Rincon, he was sitting here. Lydia was sitting here. There's a game over here. These guys was playing the game and just talking, you know, pausing, playing the game, bullshitting and shit like that. While they was playing the game, dude walks through the door. He walks this way. Jay gets up to give him a pound. When Jay gets up to give him the pound, dude pulls out the weapon and he fires on him. After he fired on him, also Rincon ends up getting hit. He then jets out of the door and he runs out the building. Also, they showed the morgue video, the morgue footage. We might talk about that also today. They showed his body in court today. I don't know what to tell you. And that's another reason why I'm looking at it and I could just see the way some of the people in the you know, watching the trial with us, I seen their reactions. And I've never had to look at someone that I love laying on a slab. I've been to funerals after they've already taken the body and dressed it up, you know? But I've never had to watch somebody that I care about lay on a slab. Nevertheless, somebody that I know laying in a morgue. So I couldn't imagine how anyone that cared about Jam Master Jay could feel looking at those photos. We just got to do better, fam. We spend so much time hating. We spend so much time hating. And people just make up reasons to hate. And people get so consumed with hate that becomes all they think about. And they'll think they're a good person. They'll be like, I go to church. They'll be like, I'm a good mother. I'm a good father. I'm a good son. I'm a good sister. Whatever the fuck. But the whole time they saying this, they out there doing evil in the world. For whatever their fucking reason is. Because these same people are just filled with hate. I used to have an individual that used to try to use that in order to manipulate me. They used to tell me they was going to make the whole world hate me if I don't do the thing that they want me to do. As you could obviously see, I chose for the whole world to hate me. Because that I could live with. Me doing what you want me to do, I can't live with that. Anyway, let's get to the thing. Also, I found this interesting. And this is another thing. And this is why so y'all know who Candace Owens is, right? So Candace Owens said something the other day that I thought was ridiculous. And I don't know how ridiculous it is no more. So she said something I thought was ridiculous. Basically, she said, you seen that claw fly up? Basically, she said that if she was getting on a plane and she got on a plane and the plane she was getting on had a woman pilot, that would be the end. She's not doing it. That's what she said. So I hear her say that, and I'm like, even though it's coming from a woman, I'm like, Candace, she's doing too much. The hell was she talking about? Right? And then I think about something. Pay attention. Who's the number one people that want guns to be illegal? Who's the number one people that want to take away our Second Amendment? Women. Do y'all see what's happening in America right now? Like, we're on the cusp of an actual civil war. Y'all do know that, right? I told y'all this like 2-3 years ago. Remember? I told y'all this when Trump lost. That civil war was coming. Once again, videos are still up, man. I told y'all, civil war is coming. We're on the cusp of a civil war, and you still got women out here saying that they don't want Americans to have guns. While we not only have a reason to fear our actual government, but we also have reason to fear these people coming from other countries that we don't know who they are. Our women want us to be defenseless. Not all, obviously. But I just needed to say that because Lydia wanted Jay to put his gun away. Now, with that being said, the dude that is accused of being the trigger man, that's Jay's godson. There's no way in the world he would have been prepared for that. I'm going to say that again for everybody that don't get it. The dude that they said was the trigger man, Carl Jordan Jr., that's Jay's godson. Lil D. See what hate does? Hate makes it easy to do evil. Hate just makes evil so easy. You want to know what usually wakes people up from hate? When they start to realize all of that hateful thinking and how they actually started fucking up shit that they didn't want to fuck up. I give you a perfect example for anybody that knows anything about BBN business. So, shout out to Key Food, my supermarket over here. Really starting to love those guys. You know, when I go in Key Food today, the actual workers, and they've been doing this, but I didn't know if they was just watching me or watching to see if people was they watched to see if people were following me. They're actually pulling up to make sure that motherfuckers can't lie on me. So they're actually walking around the store making sure that niggas can't pull up and lie on me. At least that's what it's looking like to me. Now, if they're doing that, then what has to be the consensus to the individuals that was trying to screw me over? Niggas already know that they just not good people. So that's how doing evil could fuck you up. Because now people are looking at those individuals that was doing what they was doing to me, and they just know that they're evil. Like in their heart. So these people, and a lot of them are pretty young. Now, they're going to live in this neighborhood for now, what, the next 10, 15 years? With people knowing that they're just bad people. Really bad people. Like, not even bad people, evil people, because the shit they doing is evil. And I want to add, shout out to the federal court building. We went into the court building today. I already told the individuals that that I'm being stalked, and there's people that's gonna come by and tell everybody to hate me. I already told them that. And apparently the dude said that they went over there and already did the hate stuff. I believe it, by the way. But when I was leaving the building today, everybody was just so nice to me, and I had no idea why. Like, everybody was so nice. You want to know the difference when you tell a good person, yo, that person is going through problems. You tell that to a good person, the good person is going to be like, damn, it's hard out here. I feel for you. How could I help? An evil person is going to laugh and point fingers. An evil person is gonna laugh and point fingers. That's what they're gonna do. They're gonna laugh at you and point fingers because you're going through a hard time. But a good person, they're gonna want to help if they could. So it was dope that everybody was so cordial to me. And I'm just gonna be honest with you. And I wanted to share this with y'all. I just didn't know when to say this. I probably had one of the best days of the last couple of years of my life today because I had the ability to go around people and say things to cheer other people up. I can't name the last time I was able to do that, you know. That's one of the reasons why we got a live tonight. I just felt so energized. I just feel so good. I said a joke to like 3 people and they enjoyed it. Just in the moment. 2 of the jokes was an accident. I was just, they really didn't do it on purpose. But they enjoyed it. That was dope. I gotta just leave Coney Island more often, man. That's all. I really gotta leave out of here more often. I gotta go around real people. Anyway, let's get back to the show. Sorry about that, everybody. Yeah, I live in Coney Island. Like it's bad. It's terrible for the most part. Shout out to. There's a couple of places that are kind of nice I could go to. Shout out to Kifu though. I mean, I'm gonna always carry my own camera. I don't got a choice. Oh, for everybody that don't know, I have to film everything that I do in Coney Island because the kids around here try to like put charges on you. I'm just telling you what it is, fam. The kids around here try to put molestation charges on you. So what happens is there's this kid named Robbie, and he basically tells kids to put molestation charges on people. You understand? That's real. That's crazy, fam. You understand? It's crazy. Some kid named Robbie. He tells the kids in the neighborhood, like if he don't like you, he tell the little kids in the neighborhood to tell their parents that you molested them. It's bananas, fam. Do not move the Coney Island. Let me get back to what I'm talking about. So now I've told you 2 or 3 times. Yeah, it was just an accident, man. To be honest with you. So I told you 2 or 3 times. Also that's why I don't talk to nobody that much when I'm in Coney Island because I've accidentally said a joke more than once and now people are just mad at me forever. So that's another reason why I don't talk to nobody. You understand what I'm saying? Because I might accidentally say something funny. So I don't talk to nobody. Anyway, Rincon, Uriel Tony Rincon. I hope I'm saying this guy's name right. Then he tells his rendition of what happened. I've told y'all a couple of times what I remember. Now I'm going to tell you what I actually wrote down. He said that the front door opened and he saw Jordan walk over to Jay And then he went like he was going to give him a potential handshake. Now, also, I want you to understand how the studio is nowhere near as long as I drew it out to be. It's actually a lot more condensed. Dude said basically after the door opened, he took about 3 steps and he was at the end where Jay was at. So it's not really that big of a studio. Just, it's not. There's not the same dimensions. I already told you that though. So basically, he said that the dude walked in. He called him Low D. That's what everybody calls him. That's Jordan, Carl Jordan Jr. He says that Low D walked in. He went up to him like he was going to potentially give him a handshake. He says that's when he heard the shots. He said basically his mother had called his phone. And so when his mother called his phone and he went to go pick up his phone, he heard the shots and saw Jay drop and heard Jay yell like, oh shit, or some shit. Then they said, do you see the man in the courtroom who shot Jam Master Jay? He pointed directly at Carl Jordan Jr. He pointed at him. Shout out to Trife Gangster. Trife Gangster said a thing. And he said, me and him was having a debate before the Taxstone trial. I was busy telling him I think Taxstone is going to get the exact thing that Taxstone got. And he was busy saying, nah, that doesn't happen because there's somebody in court that's pointing and saying that he shot me. So therefore, they have to find Taxstone guilty of all the greater charges. Now they're debating. He had great points, by the way, just so we could be clear. If I would have been wrong, I would have known why, just so we could be clear, because all of his points was absolutely spectacular. I think even while we was having a conversation, I said something to him about, damn, I wish we was having this conversation on the show, because the whole conversation was lit. Shout out to Trife Gangster. He's way more intelligent than you would imagine, and he looks smart to me, but he's more intelligent than that in any regard. He pointed at Carl Jordan Jr. Pointed directly at him. Remember, he was also shot. So he pointed at the guy that not only shot Jam Master Jay, but also shot himself. So how do you think the jury is going to accept that information? Then he pointed out the defendant Washington. Also, there's a third guy, but he's going to be on trial after this trial, just so we could be clear. Then he pointed out the defendant Ronald Washington. They were calling him something else. I'm not sure how to spell it. Anyway, so he pointed out the defendant Ronald Washington, said that he was basically at the door being a lookout. And he said at the time, he knew Jordan to be Jay's godson. Jay's a godson. Somebody said I fold in the same situation. I haven't criticized anybody. Shut the fuck up. Part of my language. Anybody in here heard me criticizing anybody? Put it in the chat. So they said that's Jay's godson. So just so we could be clear, I'm about to show you exactly when we're about to get to the forensic part of this. And when we get to the forensic part of this, I'll tell you more about the actual logistics of the bullet, how the bullet went in, everything else like that, right? Give me 1 second though. We're gonna get to that. I just don't want to spill it. He said Jordan had on a hood, but it didn't cover his face. He was able to see who he was. Not just that, like if Jay came in and he's standing up to give the dude a dap, obviously everybody in the damn room know who homeboy is. I'm just assuming at this point. I mean, I don't know if they had to go to anyway. After Little G shot Jay, he turned to the left, and dude was able to see his neck tattoo. Apparently, Little D also has a neck tattoo. And then after they did that, they brought back a couple of exhibits, exhibit 405, 406, and 505, 506, and 507. Those are 3 pictures of Little D. One of them showing his fall, one of them showing his face, and one of them showing the side where the tattoo is, I believe. So that then they brought back those 3 exhibits. I hate when my phone does this. It does like, what the fuck, man? Pardon my language. All right. Okay, I'm just checking to make sure the Instagram thing is still working. I don't know. We're gonna figure out how to make this work. We're gonna make this shit pop. All right, so Tenard is basically his street name or something like that, but I don't know how they spell it. I spelled it Tanard. I don't think that's the way that you spell it, so I don't know how you spell it, but that's Washington's street name. That's what everybody called them. So basically, they showed the pictures of Little D again. Basically, I think they just wanted to show that he had a tattoo on his neck because that's what Tony mentioned. Tony Rincon. He says saw maybe. Also, Washington barely ever came to the studio. Rarely ever. He said he saw him like once, maybe prior to that situation, maybe twice. Barely ever saw him. He said rarely comes to the studio. He doesn't see this guy. Exhibit 508 was a mugshot of Tenard. They ran out and they went left when they ran out of the room to the fire escape, and that's how they got away. So I'll tell you about the fire escape real quick. So apparently, the way that they got in the building was, remember I told you there's 3 people. There's another guy. He's going to be on trial. He's going to be on trial after this trial. He's not, the trials got separated for whatever the reason is, right? So that dude is the guy that allegedly got buzzed in and then went to the back and opened the door and let those guys in. So I'll explain this with a diagram as best that I understood it to be, right? Hold on, I'm going to draw a diagram real quick. So that's the studio where they're at, whatever, all these things, right? And then this is the hallway outside the studio, right? And let's say this is the front, and let's say that this is the fire escape over here, right? I'm just gonna write entrance and exit. I was gonna write initials, but all of the initials for everything would have just been E on both sides. like it was gonna be an E and an F. It was too confusing. All right, so I'm gonna write fire escape over here. That just helps it out. So basically, this is how I understood it to be, but I can be wrong. Let's say this is the room, the studio. This is where he got buzzed in. The dude who is not on trial now, he's gonna be on trial later. He got buzzed in here, allegedly. Then he goes straight over here, opens up the back door, and these guys came in. So that's how allegedly, that's what happened. That's how I am understanding it to be through the type of explanations that they've been given in. So that's basically how I understand the information that they gave. Because as far as I can tell, I don't think they ever said that dude came into the studio, but he got buzzed up. So I don't know. and then they showed exhibit 102E. And exhibit 102E was basically a photo of the studio, and Jay was laid out. I think they had the photo of him laid out in the studio. Like, that's what they showed, I believe. Then Randy, they said Randy was in the control room, and after the situation happened, I guess he heard the gunshots or whatever the case is. He ran out, he grabbed Jay's gun, and then he ran after the perpetrators, and that's when Randy runs to the police station. 501, exhibit 501 was a photo of a person that he said he didn't recognize, and then there was 502, and that was a photo of a person that he also doesn't recognize. They didn't actually publish those photos for the rest of us to see. They were showing him personally. He was like, I don't know who these people is. Then he said that he was scared. They started asking him, why didn't you tell the police? He said that he was scared. Washington's team tried to object because they don't want witnesses to say that they're scared of the defendants. You understand? That doesn't help the defendant situation. So they don't want witnesses to be like, I was scared, my niece was doing this shagging, school knocking. They don't want that to happen. You understand what I'm saying? So they objected. I don't think the objection went through because there was some banter. I believe they did a sidebar. Anyway, told Randy, I write about the sidebars from now on. Told Randy that he saw Little D and Tenard do it. So Rincon said that he told Randy that Little D, that he saw Randy and that he saw Little D and Tenard do it. He said at first he didn't believe him either. Remember, this is Jam Master Jay's godson. At the funeral, no one asked him if he saw who did it. They actually went back and spoke about this, and there was only one person that asked them who did it. The guy that is on trial right now that allegedly did it. That he allegedly saw do it. Imagine, I'm not saying that dude did it. We don't know who did it. We just know that these guys are on trial. But imagine, you saw a dude do a crime, take a dude life, and then that guy comes up to you and say, hey, did you see who did it? Also, might I add, Jordan was at Jam Master Jay's funeral. Jordan's the guy that's a Little D allegedly did the shooting. He was on trial for it right now. So dude said he stayed in New York a couple of more years. Then once he got the money, he bounced. He said once he got the money straight, he bounced. Another reason why he said that he didn't tell previously, because there was other people that he had to be concerned with, like his mother. So he was concerned for the safety of not just himself, but his mother. But they was constantly like objecting. They didn't want him to be able to say that. So there was a lot of back and forth. Some of the objections went through, some of them did. He says that he was not forthcoming because of the concern. I just told you this. Because of the concerns with him and his family. Also, he said Jay's wife and kids should know what happened. So there was a little contention. This was a point of contention, because when he was basically trying to say this, one of the things that was happening was Jay's people, right? Pardon me. The defense was saying that he shouldn't be allowed to say that. They were arguing against that. So they was going back and forth with that. But eventually, I think that he got it in and there was no objection. He said he has never spoken to Randy or Lydia, I guess like after the funeral or whatever happened, like after that whole situation happened. He said he never spoke to them again. All right, at this point, Jordan's attorney, one of Jordan's attorney, DeMarco, I forget his first name. He takes and he gets up there to cross-examine. A couple of things I want to say first. All right, so I think this particular guy finished strong. I don't know how strong he started. It looked like he was trying to get his footing. with the questionings, but he did finish strong. Anyway, Randy, so he asks him, basically, he says that Randy might be ran down girl in the booth when the shooting happened. Randy and Mike B and was with some random girl in the booth when the shooting happened. He says Carl Jr. shot Jay and himself. He's asking him. He's saying, yes, this is what happened. Not sure how many shots were fired because there's a problem with how many shots were actually fired. At one point they're saying 2, another point they're saying more than 2. In any regard, he says that he was scared to tell the police who had shot on when they were asking him. He said, "Yo, I was scared to tell him." Now, this is what I gathered. He didn't know who was in on it. Think about it. Jam Master Jay's godson walks into the studio and shoots him. Moments before that happened, the girl that's in there, sitting in there with y'all, who don't always be in there, she just pops up every now and then, but she's there today. She's busy trying to get Jay away from his gun. I'm not saying she had anything to do with it. I'm just saying pay attention to the perspective of Mr. Uriel Rincon. He almost lost his life. He got shot also. He don't know who's in on this shit. That was dude's godson. There's no reason in the world to think that he would have did something like this. Who can I trust? That's why he said he kept his mouth shut. One of the reasons. He didn't know who to trust. How could you? He says that he was scared. So the dude was like, "So you scared today?" He said, "Yeah." This is why I'm telling you, the dude finished strong, but I didn't think he started very strong. I don't think you ask that question. Okay, so there's just certain things you don't ask the person. That was a fucking softball. Because remember, if the other team asks that question, you're gonna freaking object before he could answer. So why would you ask that? I don't care. That's neither here nor there. I don't know. Told Daily News in 2007 he didn't know who did the shooting. So basically, he had went around and people have been asking him like crazy, who did the shooting? And this whole entire time, he's like, "Beats me." So what their argument is, why can we believe you now when you say he did the shooting if all of those other times you was being asked who did the shooting, you didn't know who did it? Why should we believe you now? Why would you be telling the truth now? He said he didn't want to tell the reporter who shot Jay, but he did tell a person that Jay knew then. That Jay knew them. So he said, "I'm not going to tell you who did it, but the person who did it, Jay knew them." Another thing, he was afraid of not being believed. He wasn't just only afraid of the repercussions. And I'm going to tell you something. Think about it like this. And this is why liars are worse than thieves. Right? Thieves suck also. Don't get this confused. But liars are worse than thieves. I mean, if you do one, you do the other, most likely. Let's not get this confused. I mean, you could be a liar and not be a thief. But if you're a thief, you 9 times out of 10 are a liar. Because you got a lie to do the thieving. Just so we can be clear. But lying on somebody can be worse than stealing from them. Because when you lie on somebody, you're trying to take their voice away from them. You're trying to steal their identity. Like, I don't think people really understand how terrible some of the sins they commit are because they so busy living thinking that they're righteous. So I don't think people really understand just like how terrible some of the sins that they commit are. And I'm primarily only talking about people that believe in God. If you don't believe in God, none of this matters to you. You're still going to fall victim to your sins and be held accountable. Don't get this confused. But I wouldn't expect for you to care. But if you are a person that you believe in God, I expect you to care. When you lie on somebody, you commit so many different sins all wrapped up in one. It's not something that you want to do. One, you bearing false witness. That's one. You bearing false witness. Just so we could be clear. Go look in the Bible about what God thinks about people who bears false witness. And you're gonna be like, but I lied for a good reason. God ain't gonna care, fam. 2016 was the next time he was interviewed by the police. He was interviewed at the police. He told the police that he didn't see. He was looking at his phone, which he was doing when the dude entered. He told the detective he heard Jay say, "Oh shit," and then he heard shots. Now we go to lunch. Now, while they was at lunch, the judge comes back and says that unsolicited, the jury raised some issues. One, they don't know the names of the attorneys. The attorneys were not saying their names for the most part. So thank you that the ones that stepped up there started saying their names more today. The main attorney that said his name every single time was Houston. I heard McConnell say his name at least once, but like I said, when you at the apex, when you a top dog, like there's just certain mistakes you don't make. They were confused with the questioning. So not just today, but the last couple of days, especially with Washington's team particularly, their questions just did not make sense. Like they would have been better off cutting a quarter of their time out, because I think some of the antics, I don't even know what to call it, but some of the things that they did can only have hurt them more than helped them, in my opinion. It just made them look like they was desperate in a bad way. Like, I don't know what to say. Like they were trying to put words, like it looked like they were overtly trying to, like, like, okay, so you ever had a conversation with somebody and y'all talking about like a situation or whatever, and then all of a sudden they want to make a hypothetical situation, but they trying to remove every logical thing that you could do to try to get you to agree that you will agree to do something illogical? So that's basically what it looked like when they were questioning them. Not today as much as yesterday. Early today, it was looking like that too. That's why I guess they said something today. But yesterday, it was looking like that like crazy. I'm just being honest with you. And it was Washington's team specifically. It was not Jordan's team. It was not the prosecution. It was Washington's team. It was really one person. But I don't want to, I've already singled them out enough. Anyway, lunch was over. Once again, they show exhibit 505, 506, and 507. Those are all pictures of Jordan. His full picture, his mugshot, and his side profile. Randy Allen was in the control room when the situation happened, when Jay and Rashawn got shot. Rincon got shot. Randy grabs gun, runs same way shooter ran. Basically said all the same things. Alleged shooter, Jordan was at Jay's funeral, and Jordan asked Rincon, did he see who did it? And he said, hell no, basically. He said, no, I didn't see anything. I don't know who did it. When he did it. If he did it. You understand? So that was the implication that was being made. They basically, by saying this, now, if you're a juror that believes that Jordan did it, now he's not just a person who No, if you believe he did it. If you get all the way to the end of the whole trial, like you don't believe anything now. Jurors aren't allowed to believe anything now. So you get all the way to the end of the trial and you're in there deliberating and you're saying to yourself, well, I believe he did it, right? Not only are you going to have that, but you're also going to have, just so we could be clear, he went to the dude's funeral and then asked the guy that he shot, along with the dude that he took life, do you know who did it? That the level of intimidation that is. Just so we could be clear. That's psychopathic. Okay, so Sylvie, I think is the name of this defensive. I don't know. I think it's Sylvie. I couldn't tell. It was a dude though, but whatever. Asked about the relationship. This is for Washington's team. The other one that I just told you that was for Jordan's team. Asked about the relationship with Jay and himself. Then basically says was a studio a couple of days a week. He already reiterated these things. Basically, you need to get up and look like you're working. You need to look like, even if, unless talking to this specific witness is just gonna hurt your case. What up, Latoya Hicks? Unless talking to this particular witness is gonna hurt your case, or today the judge was like, we get into the end of time, we might need to hold the person over. And Washington's team was like, there was no reason for them to need to talk to that particular witness anyway. It was like, you know what, we're not even going to talk. We have zero questions for this person. The forensic specialist, we have zero questions for this person. Our client isn't accused of shooting anybody, so there's no reason for us to talk to the forensic guy, basically. You get it? What the hell are we going to ask them about? Our client isn't accused of doing the shooting. Our client is accused of being there while the shooting was happening, in concert with the individual that allegedly did it. So there's no reason for us to speak to the ME. There's no reason for us to speak to the ME, the medical examiner. Anyway, so goes on to say that Randy was in the control room, told the police that he was sitting in the couch next to Jay. Phone was in his lap. Mother called. Then says never mentioned Tenard was there to the police, because she asked him. He said, no, I never mentioned that Tenard was there to the police. Didn't tell police because the shooters knew Jay didn't know who to trust. What he said. Anyway, the defense asked him when the feds interviewed him. Oh, the judge says this. This is the judge's words. The defense asked him when the judge interviewed him after he moved from New York, did he tell them then who did the shooting? While he was trying to answer, the attorney interrupted him, and the judge told him to let him finish. So basically, what happened was we had a situation where the dude asked the guy a question, but he was interrupting him while he was trying to answer, and the judge was like, nah, let him answer. The only reason why I wrote this is because this happened more than once. Not with this. I don't think it was this particular attorney and this particular witness, but this has happened more than once. Then they had a sidebar where they discussed the thing. I'm not sure what they discussed. I'm way too far away to be able to tell what's going on when they doing that, because I'm sitting in the back row. I'm not trying to get in the way of any friends, family, or anybody that has anything to do with the trial. I'm just trying to stay out the way. Anyway, on October 2016 meeting, he had another meeting with the FBI or somebody, state's attorney or whoever, and he still didn't mention that he saw Tenard. Just so we could be clear. Oh, I used the wrong pen. No, that's the right one. Then they redirected. They asked the questions based on what was just going on. The prosecution came back up and they reiterated he only seen Ronald Washington a couple of times before the shooting. So, why would he know the guy? And May 2nd, 2017, is when he actually told people what happened. I'm guessing that's what that says. I had to write real fast. I left something out. Sheesh. But basically, May 2nd, 2017 is the defendant Jordan shot Jay. That's when he came out and said that the defendant Jordan shot Jay while Washington stood at the door and yelled at Lydia as the others as he shot Jay. He said that that's when he decided to tell people, whatever the case is. Anyway, then the next witness was Dr. Corrine Ambrosi. She's the medical examiner. She's actually she's a florist now, apparently, for some strange reason. But every once in a while, they call her in whenever they have like some specialty stuff. So she works like they're pro bono, but that's not really something that she does anymore. So I guess like when she needs a couple of extra bucks, she'd be like, "Yeah, come down here and hack up a body." Anyway, in 2002, this is what she was doing though. She just doesn't do it no more, but she's in court, you know, doing this. Basically, she at the time she was a surgical pathologist, forensic pathologist. As we already know, that's basically the person who determines. A pathologist is a person who determines a thing, basically. So she's a forensics. So she determines the forensics about the situation or whatever the case is, right? She also taught forensics. They talking about her qualifications. Basically, you use a forensic pathologist whenever there's a sudden unnatural death, because you need to especially when it looks suspicious, so you can find out what happened. She did a fellowship in 96, 97. That was the graduating year. She was the city medical examiner for 2003 August till 2003 August. From 2003 August until 2016 or whatever, she was a chief Queens ME, and then after that she became a Manhattan she worked in the Manhattan office. She graduated a medical degree in the University of University Texas of Houston. She has a medical license in New Jersey and New York State. She's done 3,800 autopsies, and she's done at least 240 homicides. She's testified regarding gunshots at least 117 times. So basically, they talked about the stippling. So now we're going to discuss real quick. What time is it? All right. So right now, we're going to talk real quick about basically the forensics. So basically, what stippling is when the gun fires. So you have a gun, right? You fired a gun. So you have a gun, you fired a gun. So when the gun discharges, not just the projectile comes out. The bullet is not the only thing that comes out. What also comes out is some of the gunpowder that also shoots out the front of the weapon. Now, it's called stippling. Just so we could be clear, it's called stippling. One thing is called stippling, and the other thing is called fouling. Basically, stippling is when you get the gunshot residue on it. It looks like little like splatters or whatever, right? And fouling is when it's more condensed and it's basically just looks more condensed. It's not stippling. It's not like little dots. It's more like a ring, basically. So in this particular situation, also fouling happens within inches, a few inches, and stippling happens when like you have to be like within like 3 feet or whatever. Like outside of 3 feet, you're not going to be able to get gunshot residue on whoever the hell you're shooting at, basically, right? So basically what happened was, and now I'm going to explain to you what they said was. This nigga just goes for everything. This nigga just goes for everything. I'm not talking about that. So basically what happened was they determined that the gunshot was inches from the target. And the reason why how they did this was, see, it was stippling on the back of his head. So basically, I'm going to draw a diagram for you real quick. A couple, right? Hold on. Wait, I guess I'll do a better job. I used to draw when I was a kid, by the way, for real, for real. I had a lot of people that thought I was going to be an artist. Like, for real, for real. I have no idea why. I didn't think I was that good, but they did. I just got out of it. I used to draw like people, Archie characters. Like, I used to draw. Anyway, hold on. So, why am I drawing this so small? I literally just redrew the damn thing because I drew it too small. And then I drew it small again. Okay, hold on. This is not going to look good. It's just whatever, right? I'm going to have to draw them one by the time. I just realized why. I'm just going to draw one. I was going to do the diagram like they did in court, but I just realized something. All right, so I'm going to do one because I don't want to mark myself and show you where it happened. All right, so I'm going to do one. Right? Whatever, right? Whatever. Right? This is just bullshit, right? This is just bullshit. I just want to get it out the way. So this is the ears, right? Boom, right? You could do it ears if you want to do the inside of the ears, a question mark, right? So those are the ears, right? So basically, this is the left side of his head, right? So the gunshot went through the base under his ear over here, and it came out up here on the right side of his head. So basically, the shooter had the gun in his right hand, right? Because when I'm facing you, my right is on your left. So the shooter had the gun in his right hand. He went to dap him up, and he put the gun behind, allegedly, whoever the shooter was, put the gun behind his head to the back of under his ear. And obviously, the gun had a trajectory of like this, and he fired. This is a point of contention because they tried to bring something up in court. I'm not even gonna go into it because they wasn't even allowed to bring it up in court, so I'm not gonna say it. But I know what they were gonna say. It was gonna talk about why the bullet wasn't in the ceiling. Anyway, so what happens is the bullet went from back to front, from down to up, from left to right. So dude literally came up on him, hugged him. Whoever did it. Shout out to Philly. Shout out to Philly. I'm going to work with you, fam. If you in here, I don't know if you in here. You probably on your own live right now. I'm going to work with you, fam. We getting our shit together over here. We getting our shit together over here. I'm going to work with you, fam. work with you, fam. But you already know that though. Because I'm gonna work with everybody in Philly. Everybody that we on the same line, but you already know that though. Shout out to Philly. Any regard. Shout out to the officers that was in the federal building today. Shout out to all the people that was in the federal building today. As far as I know, the people that hate me are gonna go over there, and I might never be treated nice ever again in my life over there, as far as I know. But today was dope, so I'm just gonna be happy about today. I never really expect for people to be nice to me more than once anyway, so whatever. Echinosis. I forgot to look it up. Hold on. Echinosis. Not. Echinosis. Echinosis. I don't know how to say the word right. Hold on. Let me see if I spelled it anywhere near the way it's supposed to be spelled. No, I don't know how to spell the word, so I can't figure out. Anyway, there's a word called echinosis that means something that has to do with a medical procedure thing that has to do with blood pooling in your eyes and in your ears and shit like that because you got a fracture to your cranium. So that's a thing. I need a new book too. I don't know if this book gonna make it past them all. There was another thing that came up in court, but there's no real reason to mention it, to be honest with you. If there's a reason to mention it in the future, I'll bring it up, but there's no real reason to mention it, so I'm not gonna bring it up. It's just gonna be confusing. It has something to do with the photos that the medical examiner saw and didn't see, or whatever the case is, but it didn't really come up in court, so it don't make sense. I mean, it makes no difference. You know what I'm saying? Because they didn't even do the thing. They tried to do the thing, and then they just said, you know what, fuck it. You got to be smart. I'm gonna say something real quick. So this is the problem, right? The way people like try to decide whether you believe people in real life or not, that don't work in the court of law, because most of that shit is fake. Most of the time out here, people believe the liar. People barely ever believe the guy that's telling the truth. If people believe the person that was telling the truth more, the world would be a better place. That's the best way I could put it. The world would literally be a better place. If you want to go, if you look at any community, anywhere, right? The communities where the most distrust is at are the communities that's usually doing the worst. Tell me where the lie's at. The communities where the most distrust is happening, the communities that have the most distrust is in mostly the communities that suffer from poverty. Because you have to work together to get out of poverty. I mean, I know it don't matter. I'm just, it don't matter that I know what I'm talking about. It don't even matter. People were told that they had to hate me. It don't matter that I know what I'm talking about. It just don't matter. And I know that my shit worked because literally so many people have been pulling up on me, telling me that they have been taking the advice that I've been giving out, that other people have been saying is lies, and they're doing really well. So I know for a fact my shit work. Motherfucker told me that he followed the shit that I say to build his platform. He got over 1 million followers right now. There's a reason why the people that hate me can't stop me. All they could do is make y'all hate me too. But they can't stop me. One second. The amount of wowzers. Sheesh. Reginate Carter definitely killing it with this outfit. If I could, I would 100% marry a black woman. If I could. I don't think I can. But if I could, I would 100% marry a black woman. I was looking at some people shoot basketball. Anyway, I'm gonna let y'all go. Everybody have a wonderful night. Have an enjoyable night. 2-hour show. We just ripped it off real quick. Gave the information that I have. Just go out there and I mean, I don't know, man. Look, the world is a strange place, fam. The internet had to be made. It just had to be in order for God to come back to earth. Because the internet allows for sin to multiply. So God can't come back to earth until so much sin is happening here that he has to. So the internet just allows for evil to just add such a magnitude. Watch your kids, man. Because before you used to have to, you could just keep your kids in front of the house and they're safe. But nowadays they might be in the crib, but they on the phone. They watching a toxic channel. They on the phone. They meeting people on whatever fucking platform and going to meet them or some kind of weirdo shit. This is what your kids is doing, man. I have some dude in my neighborhood named Robbie. He's telling the little kids to run around and say that they getting molested by grown people. Nobody's molesting the kids. He's just telling the kids to do it. That's bananas. In Coney Island. I don't even know if anybody is like stopping them. I think that most of the adults they talking to is like encouraging this behavior. Just something to think about, fam. Some kid named Robbie. He like 16, 17 years old. And he telling little kids out here to lie and tell people that people was like molesting them and shit like that. Like that's what's happening out here in Coney Island, fam. That's crazy. So I don't know what to tell you, man. Do whatever y'all do. But do whatever y'all do, man. But there's only one war. It's the war against God and Satan. It's the war against the Most High's word and the people that don't want Most High's word to come into fruition. That's the only fight that's happening out here. Don't let them fool you. Don't let them trick you. You see, the devil has to be honest with his plans. The devil can't really lie about his plans because part of what the devil needs you to do is to give away something willingly. The devil needs you to willingly agree to be one of his servants. Why do you think the devil is trying to make all of this fuck shit happened to my life. You know how bad the devil Satan wants me to work for him? Do you understand how badly Satan wants me to work for him? For me to be going through what I'm going through? Satan is only going to have it one way. I work for him or I'm dead. That's it. That's all. That's the only option Satan want to give me. That's not the options God has given me, but that's the only option Satan want to give me. I work for him or I'm dead. We live in a world where people could just openly say and do shit that proves to you that they work for Satan. And other individuals that swear that they love God will just stand by and watch. Just something to think about, fam. Because God says when you stand around and you watch people do evil, you're actually participating in the evil. You do know this, right? When you stand by and watch somebody murder somebody and you don't try to help, you're participating in that murder. You stand by and you watch somebody slander somebody and you don't try to stop, you're participating. Go speak to your pastor, go speak to a minister. You don't have to take my word for it. There's a store that the people that hate me went to, and they were using that store to attack me. They'll go in the store, just be in the store, talking just make sure everybody hates me. They were using that store don't exist no more, fam. That store don't exist no more. God removed that store. Store don't exist no more. That Dwayne Reed is not there no more. I have no idea why. All I know is one day I was walking past the Dwayne Reed and the police was in front of it. And that shit was closed down. The signage is off the front and everything. That's all I know. I don't know what happened to that Dwayne Reed. Matter of fact, is it on it? Did something happen? I hate the fact that I do not know how to spell Dwayne. Ah, I spelled it right. Nope, I spelled it wrong. I did. Let's get it right. What street is that? Hold on. I'm really interested to find out what happened. It was on Mermaid, right? Okay, I see it on this one right here, right? Nope, and then that shit just disappeared, fam. That shit does not exist no more. That's crazy. Wow, somebody wrote a scathing letter. Is that the same Dwayne Reed? No, that looks like a different one. Okay, that's a different Dwayne Reed. The one over here is pretty nice, I guess, though. I'm really curious as to what happened to the damn Dwayne Reed. I'm just honest with you. Anyway, it just ain't there no more. Like 3 people died from cancer that was like doing fuck shit to me. Like 3 people. like a lot of like this is the best way I could put it. My actual family that the ones that known me my whole entire life, they don't never really try to start nothing with me. They don't never, because they already know I'm the type of person that if you don't start nothing with me, I'm not gonna start nothing with you. So like I'm already that on that type of time. Like you understand what I'm saying? Like if you don't start nothing with me, I'm not gonna start nothing with you. I've always been that way. So they don't start with me. They don't say nothing to me. They don't do nothing with me. Because not for nothing, like I keep trying to tell you, there's a history of terrible things happening to people who do fuck shit to me. There's a pretty long history. I'm about to let y'all go. Everybody have a good night. I'm gonna get to some stuff around here. I don't know if we're gonna have a morning coffee. I might there's a reason why I don't know if we're gonna have a morning coffee. We will not be having a midday live tomorrow. Midday lives. We're not gonna be having a midday live for the foreseeable future. Hopefully I'll be able to bring it back soon. But for the foreseeable future, we will not be having any midday lives. With that being said, I love all of y'all. Like, comment, subscribe, join the notification gang. Hashtag Bronx Bombers. Let's get it. I love y'all. Take care of each other. Hug the kids for me. I haven't forgotten about you. And that's all I got on this one. I'm out.